Welcome to the Cup of Joe Show, the podcast where Senator Joseph Cryan talks about the latest in New Jersey's 20th Legislative District. This week's guests, the Taste of Union organizers Diana Rutledge, Karen Caulfield, and special guest Don Gilmartin.
Welcome, everybody, to another A Cup of Joe. And I'm State Senator Joe Cryan, and I'm honored to be here today for a conversation about the upcoming Taste of Union, which is a very exciting event in the Township of Union. And I'm honored to be joined today by three incredible people, Diana Rutledge, Karen Caulfield, and my friend Don Gilmartin, who I've known for a very, very long time. So we're going to start today introducing you to what a Taste of Union is, maybe talk a little bit about the history of it, what it does, and folks can get some information and all those kind of fun stuff that is. So I'm going to start with Karen and Diane, if you can. Give us a little bit of an overview. What is the Taste of Union event about, and when is it, and all those kind of relevant information points.
Okay, well, good morning. I'd like to start with how it all began, actually. The township back in 2008 was celebrating their bicentennial, and the Taste of Union was an event, part of the bicentennial. After that, just a group of volunteers and residents approached the township administrator, and we actually asked him if they would mind if we continued having the Taste of Union as an annual event every year, however, choosing it as a charity for a certain recipient. So over the years, we would get together. Different people came forward and joined the committee. Some were union employees, some were residents, and some were even people outside of union that just wanted to help. So we would choose a recipient every year based on their individual challenges they were facing, whether it was medical or medical bills or whatever they needed. So we then approached some of the restaurants, and each year we have approximately 23 restaurants that do come, and it's no charge for the restaurants, but they're generous enough to come forward and just bring samplings of food for the residents and community to come out and sample. And then also Total Wines came forward, and every year they come and they do a wine tasting. So then it was a matter of finding a venue. The Knights of Columbus was kind enough to open up their hall, no fee to us, and we started to use that as our venue every year.
So we're talking about the generosity of businesses here, Total Wines, a variety of different restaurants. Diane, can you talk a little bit about what restaurants participate, what they bring to it?
Oh, okay. Good morning, everyone. Mm-hmm. They kind of get to their standard menu, and then they break off a little bit. They want to give out to the residents, and we say to the restaurants, I have to say, we tell them a portion, and they go above and beyond a portion. And the residents can go by 2-3 times, and we have from Greek to Italian to a few of our Colombian restaurants and barbecue restaurants. So we have a real nice mix this year, and our standard people that have been here forever. And then the new ones that have come in, we try to educate them as to what we can do and how they can participate, and they feel it's good advertisement for them. And they also participate, they give back when we do our, at the end of the night, and we do gift packages and whatever for the tickets, they give gift cards. And they've been known to give 4 or 5, 6 sets of gift cards, and they're $25 and plus. So they're really the biggest part of the whole setup.
It's just a great night. So can you guys, Karen and Diane, give us the information? Let's ask this a couple times. So when is the event? How much is a ticket, and how can someone get one?
Okay, the event is this Wednesday, April 23rd, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus on Jeanette Avenue. Tickets are $25 in advance or $30 at the door. And they can be purchased either at the clerk's office at Town Hall or through Diana at the engineering office at 908-851-8506.
Perfect.
That's wonderful. So we're talking over 20, actually more, folks restaurant business owners in town, and diversity including all sorts of different ethnic types. Now, can you share the names of some of the restaurants that are participating?
Okay. Got me on the spot here. Well, we go from Choppies, and then we have that Alessandria and the Slovakian, and the Mark Twain Diner, and we have Mama's Barbecue, and we have the ice cream. Well, the ice cream stores are participating, and there was a couple of others that were still letting us know last minute, but pretty much everybody that's along the center of Stuyvesant Avenue.
I'd like to just add also, we have Lagar Restaurant, we have El Shagan, Sabor Miatia. So it's Colombian, it's Mexican, some of them are Peruvian. So we have a nice, diverse selection.
So it matches the Union restaurant scene.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, Karen, when we opened up and you and Diana were giving us the information, you talked about the history of the Taste of Union and the way it came about, but you also talked about the fact that the committee selects someone to support that's important in our community. Can you just give us a little opening in terms of what that selection was for this year, and then we'll get a chance to talk to Don?
Sure. Well, normally, we ask the committee, does anybody know of anybody in the community that is facing a challenge or needs our help? So this year in particular, Caitlin Gilmartin was a name that was given to us. Caitlin is a union employee, actually, a civilian that works at the police department. And I will let Dawn get into further about what Caitlin is facing right now. But we chose her because, again, we always look at different people that are given us. But she is somebody that is a young woman, and she is a union civilian employee. And it touched our heart when we looked at it. And we reach out all the time to somebody that we feel that really needs our help. And basically that's how we picked her. It's just somebody that touched us by reading what she's going through. And we felt that we could really make a difference and help her out this year.
My understanding, a beloved employee, too.
Absolutely.
Right? Everybody enjoys Caitlin's company, as opposed to the person I'm about to introduce. Just teasing. Caitlin's dad, Don Gilmartin, we're honored that you've taken the time to join us this morning, and we appreciate it very much. Don, talk to us a little bit about the struggles that you folks have been facing together as a family.
Okay. Hi. My name is Don Gilmartin. I'd like to thank Deputy Chief Scott Breslow of the Union Police Department for putting Caitlin's name into to Karen and Diana. As I said, my name is Don Gilmartin. My daughter Caitlin Gilmartin. My daughter Caitlin lived with her mother, her two kids, Sky Marie Mason, and her fiance Nelson. And on Friday, January 3rd, Caitlin's mother, Kathleen, my ex-wife, her alarm kept going off, and Caitlin went in to wake her, and she found out that she had passed away during the night. I got a frantic call at 5:30 in the morning. I couldn't even understand what my daughter was saying, but I knew there was something going on, so I came down to the house. My other daughter lives in Virginia. We called her and let her know. She took the train up on Friday from Virginia because her husband, who was a Marine, got blown up in Afghanistan, and he had a couple of doctor's appointments, so him and my grandson Declan came up on Saturday. Caitlin was inconsolable. We couldn't get her to stop crying, and she even cried herself to sleep that night. So Saturday, the 4th of January, Caitlin woke up with a terrible headache, and my daughter Colleen is an OT, and she just knew that something was off. So they took her to JFK Hospital. They did a CAT scan of her head, and they found out she had a bleeding aneurysm in her brain. There was a lot of blood around the brain. The brain was swollen. So all day Saturday, they tried to get her blood pressure down. Sunday morning, the 5th, the Dr. Jankowitz, that was going to do the surgery, came in and told my daughter Colleen and I, he said this could go 3 ways. She could die, she could have a massive stroke, or she could be the same old Kate that she was. Hour and a half later, he came out and he said everything went perfect. She's going to be the same old Kate. He put a stent in on the right side of her head, And he told us that he'd probably have to do one or two more. So that was on the 5th that he did the first one. Caitlin was in a coma from late Saturday afternoon till probably the 17th or 18th of January. On the 10th of January, while she was still in a coma, he put the second. On the 10th, he tried to put the second stent in, but the artery was spasming, so he put the second one in on the 21st. Now, the 21st, she was awake. On the 23rd, on Thursday, they discharged her from the hospital, but they told her that she had some swelling of the brain, and there was some blood, but they didn't seem to be worried about it. That was on Thursday the 23rd. Friday and Saturday, she was in an office. She had a terrible headache, so we went back on Sunday. They did another CAT scan, and there was a substantial amount of blood in the brain. So on the 21st, they put the second stent in. No, they had already put the second stent in, and I apologize. That Sunday, they decided to put a shunt in because her body wasn't getting rid of the blood, so they put a shunt in, and that's a drain, and it goes into the outside of the abdomen, and then everything started working well. The blood was down, the swelling was down. After that, when she got discharged, she was going to rehab 3 hours a day for 3 days a week. She had an hour PT, hour of OT, and an hour of speech. Now she's down to 1 day a week, and she took the written driving test last week, and on May 5th she is going to take the practical driving test, and if all goes well, she'll hopefully be discharged and be able to go back to work. And she's back to herself. She's normal. I thought I was going to lose my baby, but thank God for the doctors at JFK and the OTs. The nurses were wonderful. And Caitlin's getting married in September, which is a little backwards from the way I was brought up, having 2 children and then get married, but that's on them.
Well, the good thing is it sounds like you'll be there for a wedding.
I will, God willing.
That is, Don, thanks for sharing that. It puts things in perspective for us. So, mom of 2, now, is Sky around 7, Mason's around 6?
Yeah, no, Sky Marie is 7, and Mason is 4. Caitlin's mother, we had the funeral on January 8th, and that was Mason's birthday. He turned 4. And January 15th, Sky turned 7. Both the funeral and the kids' birthdays, Caitlin was in a coma. So, when she woke up, she had to deal with all of that, missing her mother's funeral, missing her 2 kids' birthdays and stuff. So, besides everything else that was going on, and with that going on, my 2 daughters really haven't had a chance to grieve because of all the trauma Caitlin went through, and Colleen missing her mother, but they're going to be fine. They're dealing with it, and God willing, they'll have a long life.
Well, it sounds like the folks at the Taste of Union are going to give folks a chance to come together and support Caitlin. I do have to be a little nosy here. So the wedding is in September. You mentioned a little bit about Nelson.
Yes.
Okay. Just share it again so folks hear it.
Oh, Nelson, her fiance.
Her fiance.
Nelson Amaral is a resident in Newark. Well, he goes between the 2, but and my children go to school across the street in the school. On North 7th Street in Newark, right around the house from one of the firehouses, which I was a Newark fireman for 35 years, so I know that firehouse very well, on Park Avenue.
Okay. Nelson served, did he not?
No, he did not.
Oh, okay.
My son-in-law.
That's
did.
it. Yes.
Yeah, he was blowing up in Afghanistan, May 15th, 2010. And every year, my daughter and him celebrate a Live Day on May 15th because he did live. And he was able to retire. He retired 2 years ago as a Master Sergeant in the Marine Corps.
Well, our thoughts here are with Caitlin, obviously, and most importantly for Caitlin's recovery. And Don, thanks I mean, you brought it home for us and allowed us all to get an insight into somebody who I know is beloved in the Union Police Department and well beyond. So I do want to bring it back a little bit. It's the 16th year for the Taste of Union. It's upcoming. And talk to us again about how folks can participate and be part of this very special event.
Well, I just want to say, too, that it's been amazing over the years to see the generosity, not just of the residents, but the businesses. One of the things I failed to mention before is we also have an ad journal, and the sponsorship from the community, whether it's attorneys' offices, doctors' offices, businesses, the support they have given us have really helped through the years, too, with the cost. And also the generosity of companies, whether it was retrofitting somebody's van, we were helping them for their wheelchair, or retrofitting a house, where one of the firemen actually in town has a company, he came and retrofitted their house for their wheelchair. Things like that, and you see the real compassion and the community come together, and even the outside towns. It's been amazing. And this year, we've had more and more people join our committee. If anybody wants to be a part of it, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always looking for members. Last year, we had 5 people on our committee. This year, I think we have like 13. And some of the people are outside people that live in Cranford or Springfield and just have heard of us, and they've approached us, and now they want to be a part of it. And people volunteer their time. It's,
Folks come together.
Absolutely. It's just been amazing over the years to see it, and that's why it's very important to Diana and I and the whole committee. It's a passion that we've just continued, and we will continue. But so again, you can get tickets, Town Hall at the clerk's office, or Diana in engineering. You can also call her at 908-851-8506. I'm also available by my cell phone, 908-327-3648. And again, they're $25 in advance, $30 at the door.
Thanks.
I would just like to, I was remiss, I would just like to thank the committee. When I found out that they were honoring Caitlin, and I told her both of us had a good cry, it was very touching, and the committee is just wonderful, and thank God for them.
Well, Don, describing January 3rd, just those few days together, from the loss to the aneurysm to the bleeding on the brain to the stents, really brings it all home. And thank you so much for bringing that. Diana, just one more time now, just so I understand. Now, folks can make a donation if they choose to. Is the Ed Journal closed?
The Ed Journal is startingly, it's into print this afternoon.
Okay.
But those, we have donors from $500 full page to $250 half pages to $125 quarter pages. And there are people in town that just said they wanted to be Friends of Union, and they were $500 donors. So it is town-wide, and I do like to say that people ask from the beginning of the year, they do ask about, is there a Taste of Union this year? So that makes us feel even that much better. They ask us.
So we can join each other, support a community, support a beloved part of our community in Caitlin Gilmartin, and also, by the way, enjoy just great food and really be amazed at the Union restaurant scene this Wednesday, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus. And if you're interested and need tickets, and please join us, you can get tickets at the door, but you can get them ahead of time at 908-851-8506. Please come on out. We will see you on Wednesday to admire someone who's fought through so much, a family who's been part of the fabric of New Jersey for a very long time, and in the Township of Union celebrate again our tremendous community, our tremendous business, all coming together. We'll see everybody out on Wednesday night.
Thank you, Senator.
By the way, Knights of Columbus is Jeanette Avenue.
Yes, it is, and there will be raffles.
And there will be raffles. Bring your wallets. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
That's a wrap on this episode of A Cup of Joe, hosted by Senator Joseph Cryan. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you again for another cup.